All right. Give this a moment and let people get in here. All right, so I usually try to wait like the 15 seconds to make sure that people see the commercial. Can everybody hear me okay? Just let me know if you can hear me all right, and we will get started. Cool. All right, awesome. All right, so anyway, welcome. All right. Hope everybody is doing well, and we're going to have a good stream, I hope. And oh, my goodness. So anyhow, I want to remind everybody, if we have any technical difficulties, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can, and we will go from there. Lately, things have been better, so what it might have been the camera that was the issue. And so here I was blaming YouTube that whole time. But it was weird how sometimes, and even with the new camera, we've had a couple times where I would be talking about a certain topic, and boom, it would be off. So, yeah. So that's it happens. But again, if we have any issues, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can, and we will go from there. So, all right, I'm getting a brain dead moment here, guys. So I do apologize. I'm going to ask, what is my title that I put in here today? If you guys could just put that in the chat. Anybody? I'm sorry. It's like I just saw it, and I just went completely blank of what it was. So, yeah, it happens. But while we're waiting for you guys to throw that up there, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So no, is there censorship? Thank you, Lady Kickboxer. I literally, guys, my brain went completely blank. Okay, so we're going to be talking about is there censorship here in just a moment, okay? And obviously, we already know the answer to that, but we're going to get into the depths of what is going on with that. So anyway, it literally just absolutely went blank. Crazy. It happens. And I literally, just before I looked right at it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's, what are you going to do? So anyway, again, family-friendly oriented channel, so please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Again, if you decide you want to be a jerk, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue are going to boot you out of here because we're not going to tolerate it, okay? Any questions or comments, please all cap locks so it stands out for me. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. MG Toe Anonymous, 100% censorship and facts to the extremes. Hold on a second. I just want to. Satanist theme tube. Yeah, right. I understand where you're coming from. I do. I absolutely do. So, I don't know if some of you know, there was just a huge storm that hit a nor'easter that came up through. There's like 188,000 people without power up through Maine, Massachusetts, and all those areas up there. Some places got up to a foot of snow, which realistically, I mean, a foot of snow is nothing. So unless you live in the South. If you live in the South and you guys get a foot of snow, that's crippling. But up here, a foot is like, oh, okay, whatever. So just, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. We are used to it up here. But we also have the equipment to be able to deal with those type of situations. So anyway, but all right, so let's talk about some censorship. Yes, I saw that Giuliani had COVID. I did see that, so not a good thing. And it's weird. It is amazing to me, and let's talk about that for a second, real quick, and then we'll get into the whole censorship thing. A lot of these recent cases of the virus in Congress and Senate, the president's lawyer, it's all Republicans getting it, not the Democrats. And I find that really, really interesting, almost to the point of, are they being targeted? Okay. Hey, Mountain Kayaker. Leftists drove through crowd of patriots protesting lockdown. Wow, that's not good. I didn't see that one. I hadn't seen that in the news yet, and that's not good. And it's how messed up that somebody would do that because they disagree with somebody else. And it's a huge problem, huge problem. So, censorship, whatever happened, I mean, the First Amendment is the right to free speech, right? Am I not correct on that? Free speech. We should all have a platform, be able to speak our minds, say what we feel, say what we think. It doesn't necessarily make you right or wrong. And see, this is what I think a lot of people lose sight of. Just because somebody says something doesn't make it true. Now, you know, again, and I've said this before and I'll say this again. Whatever I tell you guys, I absolutely ask you to look it up, do your own research, follow that, and you'll see it for the truth or not truth or whatever the case may be. And if I make a mistake and you guys call me out on a mistake, I am the first one that will come on here and say, hey, I said this and I was wrong. I've done it before. I will do it again in the future if I'm wrong on a topic or something that I'm talking about. I have no problem doing that because, again, I am close. I'm very, very close, but I am not perfect. It's like an inside joke. Me and my daughter, we always say, well, we're close to being perfect. We're not perfect, but we're very close. So it's just a game, fun that we play. So anyway, censorship is going on all over the place. I don't know if you guys just saw on Facebook, they said that Zuckerberg said that anybody posting any kind of negative vax facts their stuff is going to be taken out. So anything negative about the vaccination that's coming up that they're going to be releasing, anything negative is going to be removed. Okay. So why would they do that? They don't want facts out there. They don't want people telling the truth. It is unbelievable that whatever the agenda it may be, okay, whatever the agenda may be, if you disagree with what the agenda is going to be, you're automatically wrong. You're automatically being censored. Channels are being shut down. And, that's a huge issue. It is a huge, huge issue. And, they continue to do it. Facebook, Twitter. I just had somebody today told me they just got blocked on Twitter again. They do like bans or whatever for whatever amount of time. Because they said something that Twitter didn't agree with. And again, but here's what I find interesting with this. And it's obviously very one-sided. And this is not being a leftist or a rightist or any of that type of stuff. But if you pay stuff, if it's anything pro something, you're blocked, banned, dismantled, or whatever. And if you're against this person, and it's obviously Trump, okay? If you're pro-Trump, your stuff is being taken down. They're censoring you, like leading up to the elections. They really censored so much stuff. Like the whole thing. I'll give a good example. The whole thing with Biden's son and the corruption with his son, going overseas and doing what he was doing. Why is he making so many trips overseas if he's not talking on the behest of his daddy? Okay, I mean, realistically, because who's Hunter Biden? He's nobody, realistically, other than he is the son of the former vice president, possibly president-elect. I will still say that until it is official. I'm not going to call him president-elect until it is official. But, it is, again, they squash that stuff on social media. They did not want that put out there. And that's a problem. What is wrong with having a dissenting opinion or a different opinion? Because if it doesn't go along with the narrative that they're trying to push, it makes a big difference. And it's just like when they tried to say that the Russians, had this huge influence on the last election. And that's how come, President Trump was elected. That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense, Happy Elf said, I will never call him the president. See how they like it. It is what, everybody has an individual choice. You can do what you want to do, of course. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again, all right? When it comes to politicians, and I know Trump is a businessman, he's not a politician. When it comes to politicians, it doesn't matter if it's left or right. When they get into office, they're going to help their rich friends. They're going to help the people that got them elected, the special interest groups that got them elected. Okay, that's who they are going to help. They are not going to help the average citizen in the long run. What they're going to do is they're going to reach into your pocket and they're going to take as much money as they possibly can. That's what they do. And it continues to happen and will continue to happen. So every 4 years when people go, oh, you know, we need to change, we need this, we need something better, it doesn't make any difference. It really doesn't. And you got to remember, too, the person that is sitting in that seat in the White House is a figurehead. He is not truly the one running this country. There's the big business realistically runs this country. That's who runs this country. Okay, so, you know, Miley Cyrus' sister called Candace Owens a nappy-headed hoe on Twitter last week. Twitter never blinked an eye. Well, again, and there's a great example of that. Okay, that's a great example. Thank you for posting that, because that's, if it's, and I'm going to be realistic on here. And if you are left-leaning, you may not like what I have to say, but I'm going to drop truth on you. I'm not going to BS you or anything like that. If anything from the left says anything negative about anybody, that's perfectly fine. There's been a lot of anti-white sentiment that a lot of people have said, celebrities and you know, public figures and stuff like that, and that's perfectly fine. But if somebody on the other side, on the right, says something, well, then they're vicious and they're horrible, and how dare they? You know, if you want to make the playing field equal, make it equal. But if one side can say something and be attacked and destroyed and their reputation's destroyed, but then the other side can say whatever they want to say, and that's perfectly fine, that's not right. And that is censorship, obviously. But North Shore Preparedness said, "Ed, how's Reese?" Reese is going through some stuff right now. He's okay, but he's just going through some stuff right now. I'm not going to get into his personal stuff. You know, but he's got some health issues, and he's been dealing with that. So that's why you guys haven't seen him on here. You know. So Mike Coffey says Joe Biden is owned by China. You know, I've heard that come up lately as well. Okay, and you know, again, propaganda is propaganda. If you got a solid proof, then great, show us the proof. And that's I've always said that, right? Just like with this election, if they can prove fraudulent activity, prove it, show us. Now the puppies are, she's playing with the other dogs. As long as they're not up my behind. They are so funny. There's a huge jealousy thing going on with Caesar and Pandora. They, you know, and Hella just wants to play. She just wants to be friends and play, and they've accepted her really well. So that part is going good. But you know, it's coming together. And speaking of which, hello, Mr. Caesar. Yes, how are you? So anyway, yeah, there's a big time jealousy going. The cats have tolerated him, or her, I should say. You know, she wants to play with the cats as well, and the cats are like, yeah, no, not having it. So she's got a few swats from the cats. They're getting more used to her now. Molly, who is like the most skittish cat, is now comfortable coming in and out of the house once again with the puppy. So because a while she was having some issues, you know, with this new creature in the house. So, but yeah. So right now I have 4 cats on the bed with me and the 3 dogs in here. Like I said, they're always close. They like to stay close. But again, with the whole censorship thing going on, you know, and I can't believe, well, I can believe, I guess, the government is allowing it to continue to happen. You know, I know that like they had when monopolies are made and people have a monopoly on stuff, they generally will break them up because then they have too much control. Facebook has way too much control over what you do or do not do on there, and that's an issue. That is absolutely an issue. So I missed something here. Something was going on. The election was censored. Oh, absolutely. You know, the censorship with the election. It's just like even now. Okay, I just saw an article today, and I didn't click on it because I know it's the same mantra that they have been spewing ever since the election happened. And it says, President Trump comes out with more lies or falsehoods about the election. You know, until it's proven one way or another, why is it automatically that the media, why, we know why, the media is leaning one way when it comes to what they're talking about, what they're saying. It's a continuation. It's just an absolute continuation. Guys, I see we're at 802 people in the chat. We're at 290 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet to show support for the channel, I would ask you to please do that. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, it really boosts us up in the ratings. So I would ask for a thumbs up for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason is I like to see a large number of thumbs up. So I'm not going to lie. Always got to be honest. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask that you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon and get all notifications as well. You know, I don't do Facebook either, Francis says. You know what? I'm on Facebook. I basically use it as just to connect with people that I've in the past. If I see a funny meme, I will post a funny meme up there. I think, like I just saw, well, I just posted 2 recent ones, okay? And one, it was hilarious. It was a kid was doing the flinch, you know, where, like, you know, like that to his mother. And it was Hispanics. They're them, you know, they were both Hispanic. And oh my God, she whipped his butt. And he was doing it. He had it all on camera. He was doing it in jest, but she didn't know that. And she whipped him. She went out and got a mop with a wooden handle, and she was whacking him. Hold on one second, guys. What are you chewing on? Oh, God. Get out of that. No. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. How's she getting in there? Naughty. I apologize. I hear this crunching, and I'm like, what is she eating? Candy-coated cat snacks. You know what that is, guys? That is cat poop out of the litter box, covered in that delicious cat litter. Yummy. Ugh. Yeah, so, yeah, bad puppy breath. Exactly. Cat box equals bad puppy breath. So, yeah, no. Yeah, candy-covered cat snacks. That's what we call them. So, and I got that area blocked off, so I don't know how she was getting in there. So, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that. Alternative media, mountain kayakers talking about that. Yeah, I shared a video on those Facebook ballots in Georgia, and it was pulled under the voting station. Hold on a second. On Facebook in a day in Facebook, tagged for fake info notification. You know, and that's the whole thing too. There, who are they? Who's the ones that sit back there and make the decisions? Doggy granola, yeah, right. Oh, I can't stand that. It is like the nastiest stuff. Who sits back there and makes those decisions on what's fake and not fake? You know, it amazes me. And again, until all the facts are out, put up what you want to put up, believe what you want to believe. And when something can be 100% proven that it's not true or fake, then you should go from there. That's how it should. That's how it should be. Eddie, doggy diarrhea coming in a location near you. Yeah. Well, we've had a little bit of that because she's gotten into that before. So I'm trying to stem that because I definitely don't want her having cat snacks. And the worst part, those dogs have access to food 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. They can have as much food as they want to have. They have access to water, you know. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on. It's not true or fake. It's just the narrative. Yeah, you're right. They have a narrative out there, and it's They want you to believe what they want you to believe. And if it doesn't fit into what they're, see, and it's not even they meaning the news media, it's what they have been told the news media to say. So they may not believe it themselves, but let's look at it like this. I mean, you're Dan Rather. We'll use him as an example. He's a very out front news person and making a lot of money because he's been around for a long, long time. And they come up with something that he may not believe in at all, but he's going to put it out there because he knows if he doesn't, that could be his job. And so that's why they do it. They will continue to put that stuff out there because it's job security for them, and that's part of the narrative. Sue Blue, I voted for Mr. Biden. I am no party and vote who I feel is the best. I don't trust the vaccine. I hope they don't make the vaccine mandatory. I'm scared. You know, I don't think that they can make the vaccine mandatory. I really, truly don't. Thank you for the donation, and you know, thank you for the statement. Like I said, you can vote for whoever you wanted to vote for. I mean, and again, as an individual, you make a choice of who you would rather have. Me, I'm looking at the policies. That's what I was looking at. You know, and when you have a career politician that has run for president 3 times previously and never made it, there's a reason for that. Okay. You know, and there's a lot of corruption. There just really, really is. So, you know, again, but yeah, as far as the vaccination being, sorry. I don't know, these freaking flies are, and I never have flies in my house, so I have no idea where they're coming from. So I got to figure that out because I want them gone. What I might end up doing, I might get all the cats and all the dogs out of here and then bomb the house, and that'll take care of that. So, Lady Kickboxer says, Sue, I hate that Democrats always strip medical freedoms first. You know, it's just the whole thing. It's at the end of the day, realistically, and we have to look at it realistically. Doesn't matter if left or right or in the White House sitting in there. Okay. They continue to erode our rights. They continue to take away our freedoms. And we are sitting back and just going, here we go. Biden said no to mandating it. I'm going to tell you what, I have talked to a lot of people about the shot, the vaccine. And I've had a lot of people say they're absolutely not taking it. And one of the main reasons is there's not been enough research done on it. And I absolutely agree with that 100%. There's absolutely not been enough research done. How can, and here's a question for thought, okay? We've had the flu forever and a day. At the most, they can come up with a shot that's 40% effective, maybe, okay? A lot of years, it's as little as 10% effective, all right? That's for the flu shot. So all of a sudden, they come up with some shot that is going to be 95% effective against this virus. I'm not buying it. I'm absolutely not buying it. And again, what they're using is fear is a motivator for you to go out and get the shot. Hold on, guys. Victory. So that takes care of that one. As everything up goes crazy. Oh my goodness. But again, you know, when they're saying that this is 95% effective, I'm just not buying it, you know. So it's you know, it's BS. We're being played once again. Hello, Pandora. Yes, I see you and I acknowledge you. I love you. Yes, I do. And Caesar, yes, you're right here too. I know. And then guess who's coming up behind? She can't get through because they're too big. She's going to be your boss. Just remember that. Because she's going to be bigger than the two of you. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's going to be a very big girl. Yes, hello, Hella. So, anyway. Naughty. Eating cat crap. Don't do that. Yes. Anyway. Fruit flies migrated north. Yeah, I don't know what the heck between... And like all summer, I had no issues with flies. I had no issues with fruit flies. And then all of a sudden, come on. Okay, enough. Go. You don't have to be right next to me. I swear you don't. Had that shot that the people got in the 60s that left a mark on their arms Was that mandatory? Yes. Yep. It was. I have that scar right here. Let's see if I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see. It is, yeah, it's right there's I think the circle's right there. Yep, that scar will be there forever. If you were born I think 67 and earlier, I believe, and then you have that circle on your arm. So yeah, and you had to get it. You had to get it. So, but again, like with this thing here, I never got that one. That is old. Yeah, I'm old. I admit it all the time, and I love it. Like I said, when people tell me, like I had the kid that's working for Mom and Becky working on doing some carpentry stuff in the house over there. We were talking. I got to tell you the story. So I think I might have talked about this already, but I'll say it again really quickly. We were talking about. I was talking about the Little Rascals. So I was talking, about that, and so he was looking at me with this like blank look on his face, and I went, "Well, you probably don't know what I'm talking about because you're a lot younger than I am." And he goes, "I'm not that much younger than you." And I said, "Well, how old are you?" And he said, "Well, how do I look?" I said, "Early 40s." He says, "No, I'm not even 40 yet." And I said, "Yeah, see, you are much younger than me." And he goes, "Well, how old are you?" And when I said that I'm 55, he was like, his reply was, "Get the F out of here." And I'm like, "No, I'm dead serious." And so he was like, "Wow." He goes, "Man," he goes, "You don't look it." He goes, you look great for your age." And I'm like, "Well, thank you." I have it too, and I was born in 71. Night Ace 2 said. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know what year they stopped giving the shot, but never trust anyone under 50. There you go. That's funny. But Modern Kayaker, if Biden becomes president, get ready for high taxation and the end of capitalism. Yeah, I agree with that 100%, to be honest with you. He already said he was raising the taxes. So that's why I just cannot fathom. Well, I can, but knowing that your taxes are going to go up, you're going to stand in line and vote for somebody that says, "Yes, I'm going to raise your taxes." Boggles my mind, but the hatred for the president is so strong that people can't, I was born in the 70s and I don't have it. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out, I'll have to look in. Somebody said they were born in 69 and didn't get the shot. I thought it was in the 60s, near the end of the 60s, that they stopped giving it. Because I don't believe, like my ex-wife was born in 69, and I don't think she had it. So it was stopped in that time frame. Maybe not in every state, but yeah, it was there. It left that scar, and that scar is there forever. So I have it. My sister has it. She was born in 66, so born in 65, no mark, no shot. I don't know. I know that, like I said, when I was here, I got it. So, I know in 65 they had that shot out there. So, yep, my older siblings have it, but not me. Okay, so I gotta let's take a look at Cat Breath Face. Hello, Miss Cat Breath. Cat Snack. Look at this. She's getting huge already. She is going to be so freaking big. This harness that I have on her right now, I had to adjust it today because she's growing so fast to loosen it up because it was already getting tight on her. But I'll tell you what, if I'm outside, this dog is with me. She follows me wherever I go. Yeah. All right. Jealous 1 and Jealous 2. Stop. Okay. Everybody relax. All right. So anyway. Dominion voting system is headquartered in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, near North Shore Preparedness. Really? Okay. Unfortunately, if it got away, hold on a second. Unfortunately, if they got away with it back then, they may have a president to try again with. Again, I think you're looking at a whole different generation of people. Back when, even like with, when I was a child, people just trusted the government. They believed in everything that they said. Now, there's a lot of people out there right now that do the same thing, but there's also a lot of people out there right now that said, "No way." So as far as the one numbers that I saw, and people have said that it's gone up since then, but I heard that 60% of the people said they would not take the vaccination. And the number one reason is it's not enough research done on it. And as I did in another video, I talked about how Pfizer was not going to release the ingredients, and that they were not going to let the study out for 2 years, ahead of time. So again, there's a lot of red flags. As far as looking at it, there's a lot of red flags. As a medical person looking at it, there's a ton of red flags. Again, so I'm going to tell you, do whatever you want to do. If you want to get it, smallpox stopped in 72. Maybe that's what it is, Shirley. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, Generation X, major lack of government trust. Yeah, well, we grew up, again, Generation X. I'm first year Generation X because the last year of the baby boomers was 64. So we grew up like questioning everything, so, but yeah, so that's, what are you going to do? The human race just can't go 150 years without trying to wipe itself out. Trust me. Yeah, and that's the sad thing if you think about it. And it's always, at the end of the day, with all of it, it is certain groups of people wanting to control everything, every aspect of your life. I mean, if our forefathers were alive today, they would be rolling over in their graves because of everything that is going on right now. They would be disgusted that we have allowed ourselves to be manipulated in the way that we have by the government. They would be up in arms right now. That's exactly what they would do. Yes, I got a new camera. Yep, Josh, Connor, I got a new camera. So actually I cleaned it today too, because there was some fingerprints on there, and I'm like, so I broke out the old Windex. What generation are those that were born in the early 80s? What are they? Generation Y, I think, maybe. Because I don't know exact. I know Generation X started in 65, and I don't remember when that ended. But yeah, I don't remember what 80s babies would be. Somebody want to pop the answer up on here, and I will tell them. Y, millennials. Okay, so yeah, those are Generation Y, the millennials. Well, that makes a lot of sense. I think it ended in 1980. Okay, Generation X was end of 80. Okay, so then 81 would be Generation Y. All right. Well, thank you, guys, for clearing that one up. But again, realistically, it doesn't really matter what generation you were born in. It's how you're raised. It's how you look at things. If your eyes are open or they're not open, if you believe everything that you're being told, if you follow the mantra, so to speak, that's an issue. That is an absolute issue. But anyway, but again, there's good people with the millennials. A lot of them, are just doing as they're told. My stepson Josh, he's a great kid, love him to death. But he thinks, well, I'll get the shot and everything will go back to normal. And I just wish that he would, I wish he would open up his eyes and realize that the manipulation. No, I think 2005. I think that's Generation Z, I believe. Hey, Prepper 21. It's a race inventory to control, and we got in front of it. Yeah, exactly. It's always about control. Hold on a second. KRFJR got the flu shot for 20 years in the National Guard, and also the anthrax shot for the sandbox in the 2000s. Not getting any more, just saying. And I don't blame you at all. Like I said, I did the flu shot when I was doing home care, I didn't have to get the flu shot. So there was a huge stretch of time where I never got a flu shot. But when I went back in the last several years that I was working, and I was working in facilities, then it wasn't mandatory. Like I said, again, it wasn't mandatory. But if you would not get the flu shot, they would make you wear a mask for 6 months at a time. And as you know now, it's no fun wearing a mask all the time. So I was not going to do it. So that's why I did get the flu shot then. Since I obviously have retired, I have not got the flu shot since. I'll never get it again. So that's route terror. Do you also have alternative weapons like blades, batons, mace, and other stuff for close combat in case you run out of ammo? Always great to have. Yes. Like I said, again, I think it's important to have different options. There's a lot of things that you can get. A slingshot, you're never going to run out of stones that you can pick up. You can get all kinds of other things with that as well that will work as well. But like a slingshot, crossbow is a nice thing to have. Again, being able to know how to make more arrows might be a smart thing to be able to do. So again, a lot of that plays into it. But thank you very much for the donation as well. And but yeah, having alternative weapons is very, very smart. Very smart. So I definitely encourage people to do that as well. So again, being able to take care of business quietly is not a bad thing to be able to do as well. And I think that's where a crossbow or a compound bow are very effective in that aspect. We're at 960 in the chat, guys. We're at 499 on the thumbs up. So I'm going to ask again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, positive or negative, it pushes us up higher in the rankings. But of course, I like to see the thumbs up as opposed to a thumbs down. Also, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I would ask you to do it for that reason as well. Again, if you have not, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Always have a backup to your backup. Becky Reed just said that. I agree 100%. Having a bunch of knives is great. Have you seen the slingshots that use arrows? You know what, RB Source? I have not seen those. I've heard about them, but I had not seen that. All right, everybody's calmed down now, so that's good. Egg count time, somebody said. All right, I'll tell you what. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll knock out the egg count really quickly. So what is your guys' guess? What's your favorite knife for everyday carry? I like a solid knife, something that is big enough to take care of business. And so, let's see. I'll give you an example. And that not all of them are this size, but I'm going to show you an example of a knife that sits by my bedside. Okay, heavy duty, solid. The Best Defense 440 stainless steel. All right, that's a nice knife to have. That will definitely take care of business. But it also helps if you know how to use it. Okay, just having it is great, but knowing how to use it is going to be important as well when the time comes. So I think that's important as well. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, if you have the same guess as Kate MC, sorry, I'm picking up stuff that I dropped on the ground. If you had the same guess as Kate MC with 4 eggs, that's what we ended up with today. We ended up with 4 eggs today. So good day for, again, they're starting to pick up again. We're getting like 4 and 5 a day over the last 3 or 4 days. So hopefully we'll continue that trend. But, yeah, no licking of the face, JJ, especially after she's been cat snacking. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Yeah, right? Yeah, Crocodile Dundee, when he throws a switchblade out, he goes, that's not a knife. Hey, Red Wolves 2015. What are your thoughts on what's going on in California with their lockdowns? What do you think about the monoliths popping up everywhere? I love your channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The monolith thing is very bizarre. Very bizarre. I would be very curious what that's all about. Especially when one pops up in the middle of nowhere in Utah. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What was on it? I didn't even know. I don't know if there was anything on the monolith, but it's very strange that these things are popping up all over the place. As far as the lockdown in California goes, again, to me, it's all about control. We've talked about this. I mean, they're not even talking. A lot of states are not even counting flu numbers this year. They're not even talking about the flu. Well, the flu didn't just disappear, and everything is not the virus. Okay, so again, we are in normal flu season on top of that. And the best part is, of course, the exact same symptoms. exact same symptoms as the flu. So, you don't know if it's truly the virus or you have the flu, and people are scared. They're absolutely scared. They're terrified, you know. Flu vaccines didn't work and they've been working on them for how long? Do you trust this new one? No, not at all. That's I think another reason why so many people are not going to get it. Why do you think that they would do the propaganda of Obama, Bush, and Clinton saying that they would take this on TV? I don't believe them for a second. Like I said, I think that they would probably get something, it would be sterile water or something that they would do for them. They wouldn't give them the true vaccine. Yeah, she's going to be big. She is going to be a big dog. Hella's going to be, yeah, she's going to be she's got big feet, and she's growing like a weed already. So, monoliths are a hoax, JJ just said. But why would you have one in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere? That doesn't, or it doesn't make any sense. Didn't make any. I don't know. It's just like everybody takes the what do you call it? The thing down in Georgia, the Georgia Guidestones. Like they take that, like, oh my God, this is what their agenda is. Well, I think that some lunatic put that up there. And that maybe that was their desire, so yeah. Monolith was an art project. I don't know. So I don't know. Like I said, it's just bizarre that they would do it. Monolith showed up in Bulgaria. Yeah, like I said, it's just very strange stuff. There's a lot of strange stuff obviously going on. This whole thing, again, what is fact, what is fiction? What is being perpetuated to scare the crap out of you, to, get you all of a sudden, here's what I find interesting too, okay? So we're going into flu season. Everybody pretty much knew that this was going to come back in the fall and, late fall, early winter, and it was going to be a problem over the winter. Everybody knows, right? So all of a sudden they're coming out with this vaccine that they're rolling out now. Perfect timing, isn't it? And again, if you can scare enough people into complying and doing as they're told, I really have a hard time believing that they're going to force people to take this vaccination, because I think you're going to see a big blowback if that would be the case. I think you're going to see a huge blowback because they don't trust it, and they shouldn't. You know what I mean? Unless they are being upfront 100% with all the information, what's in the shot, what the side effects may or may not be, how truly effective it's going to be, and they're not going to ever do that, because they're greedy. Number one, they want all that money for themselves. They want it all for themselves. They don't want to share with anybody else. So, what do you think is going to happen in that case? And Happy also, can I see your papers, please? I know the whole thing with, the papers and stuff, it's ridiculous. Employers will make it mandatory. Jamie Price said, some in the medical field, you are going to see, yes, I believe that you're going to see nursing homes are going to mandate that their staff get it. So then it comes down to a choice. Do you stay in that environment, get that, and go on, or do you say no? Again, it's going to be very interesting moving forward, but I don't know. But again, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of censorship happening. There's an agenda. Obviously, there's an agenda. You got to understand how much money is involved in this. And we really can't put them, when you have, just look at it this way. You have 6 billion people on the planet, right? Or is it 6 or is it 9? Might be closer to 9, I think. But whatever the number is, we'll go with 6. Here, let's just do this. Somebody tell me how many people are on the planet altogether, because I know it goes up constantly. How many people on the planet, guys? Can somebody look that up for me really quickly? 7.5 billion. Somebody says 7 billion. All right, yeah. So let's call it 7 billion. We'll just round it at that number. So 7 billion people on the planet, and their agenda is to get everybody vaccinated, right? That's their agenda. We want to get everybody vaccinated. Well, if it's let's call it $10 a shot, which we know that's not going to be the number. It's going to be worth way, or it's going to be way more than that. Think about that number. How, you're talking what $7 trillion? That's a lot of freaking money for a pharmaceutical company to get their little grubby mitts on. Okay, a lot of money. So of course they're going to push. They're going to push that. They want that out there. They want, they want people to make it mandatory. They want, or use enough fear or scare tactics to get you to comply. That's all part of it as well. People don't like my opinion on Social Security, so they wanted me silenced. And that's the thing too. It's like I had somebody just today. They said they just got banned off of Twitter again because of what they were saying. Facebook does it all the time. They censor stuff all the time, especially if you are right-leaning, and that's a fact. I saw something. There was a thing on Facebook, and I saw this, and the person was talking about hanging white people down in Washington, D.C. from the lamp post, letting them rot, and when their bodies rotted, to cut them down and hang the next group. Facebook never took that down. But you better believe if that had been reversed, they'd have been all over that. There'd have been some kind of civil lawsuit against the person. It would have been crazy. So the double standard, I have an issue with in any aspect of anything. It should be the same exact rules for everybody. There shouldn't be rules for this group and different rules for that group. It should be the same rules for everybody. And that then that makes it fair. Okay? That makes it fair. There's a lot of hatred out there in the world. And that's one of the things I talk about all the time. How is it that it's out there? Why is it so bad? Because media is one of the big factors of it. They keep fanning the flames. If they can get you incensed and angry, and realistically, nowadays, white people are the convenient target. All right, and it's the truth. We're the bad guys. It's everything is white people's fault, which is ridiculous. It's there's racism all over in any race that you have out there, any religion that you have out there. There's going to be racism. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. You're going to have people that are Pakistani that hate this group because of that reason. Okay, so here's a great one. I'll give you a great one, which is, to me, is the most ridiculous thing that's been going on for a very, very long time. We're talking about Ireland, okay? So you have the Catholics and the Protestants. Now, everybody's white, but this group of Protestants hate the Catholics because they're Catholic, and the Catholics hate the Protestants because they're not Catholic. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, and they're all white. So they're hating each other over a religion. How stupid is that? And I'm talking they're killing each other. It's been going on for a long time. That's insane. To me, that's insane. Again, we need to look at people on an individual basis, realize that we're all different. We come from different backgrounds, different upbringings, and stuff like that. That doesn't make you better because you came from money and you had a silver spoon in your mouth. And, I came from poverty and had to work my way up by my bootstraps. Okay. My work ethic might be a whole lot better than yours. Okay. Because it's like I had to work to get to where I'm at. But people just, we live in a society now, everybody wants something for nothing. They don't want to have to work for it. And not everybody, I'm not lumping everybody into that category, but a lot of the people out there today, they want it handed to them. Well, that's not how you get ahead. That's why capitalism will always be better than socialism, communism, fascism. It will always be better. Because with capitalism, if you are willing to work and put in the effort, and I talk about this, guys, I talk about this all the time. If you're willing to put in the hard work and effort, anything is possible. Okay? And again, who do I say is the only person that can stop you? Who's the only one that can stop you from being successful in life? You. That's it. So blaming this or that or this circumstance or that circumstances, that's crap, That's crap. Because it's like If you want to put that effort in, you can get ahead. I'm going to tell you what, your reputation in life is everything, in my opinion. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what, when I was younger, I was doing a lot of bad stuff. I had a reputation. People didn't screw with me because of that reputation, because they knew that I would do whatever I needed to do, and I didn't care. Okay. So legal or illegal, it didn't make no difference to me. If I had an agenda and I had a goal or a purpose, it was getting done because I would do what I needed to do. That's not a good reputation to have. It really isn't. But again, your reputation in your word is your bond. And if you are a liar and a thief, that gets out. And if you're out there spreading lies and saying all kinds of bad things and trying to hurt people, that gets out too. And people see that, they get turned off by it, and they walk away. A lot of people will never say a freaking word. They will never say a word. They just walk away. All right. I choose who I want to hang out with, who I want to spend my time with. I want to spend my time with positive people. I want to spend my time with driven people that have that same mindset, that they have an agenda, they have a goal, and they're trying to reach it. And a lot of times that goal is for the betterment of not only themselves and their families, but mankind. That's what we should be doing. You know, letting ourselves be manipulated by the media to hate this person. Like, okay, great. And I don't mean to single you out, Asif. Asif is in South Carolina. Okay, he is a doctor. Asif is also Muslim. Okay, should I hate him because he's Muslim? No, he's just a different religion. And who cares? If he's happy and it gives him peace of mind, great. Somebody else on here may be Catholic. Somebody else on here may be Protestant. Somebody else watching the channel may be Jewish. Somebody else watching the channel could be Buddhist. Okay. There's so many different religions out there. It doesn't make them right or wrong. If it gives you peace of mind, that's all. You should be happy for people. If they have a relationship with God in their own way, whatever way that is, okay? And having a relationship with God doesn't mean that you have to go into a building with a man with a dress on and he tells you what to do and how to live your life. That's not having a relationship with God. And let's not forget giving your 10% tithe to the church, okay? God don't need your money, okay? That's a fact. God does not need your money. So if you have a relationship, your own relationship with God, that's fine. It doesn't make this person right, this person better. It doesn't. Least not, or judge not, lest ye be judged. It's right in the Bible. So who are any of us to judge anybody else? And so again, follower of Jay said, I'm so happy to hear you talking about God. Well, I get tired. I really get tired of people putting other people down because they believe something different. Again, your own individual relationship is your own individual relationship. I know people that are very religious that will never set foot in a church, never set foot in a church, and good for them, okay? Because they see a lot of times, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of their religions, it's about a manipulation again. So, hey, Prepper Nation. We have nothing in common, religion, Harleys, region, slang, but I respect you greatly for being a respectful person in general. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You don't like Harleys? I can't believe you don't like Harleys. But Pamela Sherry, God doesn't live in a building. I can stand in my garage all day. Doesn't make me a car. Exactly. I like that. Thank you both for the donation. And again, exactly. Why can't we just agree to disagree? You know, your opinion is going to be different from mine. You shouldn't have the exact same thoughts that I have. You shouldn't think. You should have your own thoughts. Now, if your thoughts line up with mine, great. Okay. But, not everybody's thoughts are going to line up exactly right. So, but again, that doesn't make one person right and the other person wrong. It just doesn't. So, that's a big thing for me. Let's see. Prepper Nation, love you, brother. That's Blue Collar Bicentennial just said that. Yeah, again, and obviously, Prepper Nation is another channel to follow, guys. different perspective, looking at things differently, different region of the country. And again, that's the cool thing about what I like about YouTube. I really do like about YouTube. You guys some of you will say, oh, I like your accent. I don't have an accent. You have an accent. So, you know what I mean? But again, it's, hey, Route Terror, have you heard the mark of the beast? Hold on a second. When everyone is forced to get an ID code on their body required by to sell and buy goods in cash, is history. I've heard that talk before, as far as, they're trying to go with a cashless society and stuff like that. And they're talking about a mark on you to be able to sell and trade. I have a hard time buying. You're going to have a hard time getting rid of cash. You're going to have a really hard time getting rid of cash. Okay. So, that's the, I don't see that ever going away. I really don't. They may try, but I don't, because again, what are they trying to, why would they want a cashless society? Let's think about that for a second. Why would they want that? Total and complete control. Because a lot of people, what they do, they barter. A lot of people, like Greg and myself, we barter all the time. Okay. I might have something and I say, well, what do you give me for this? And then he'll say, well, I'll give you XYZ amount of money. And I say, okay, now we'll take that money that you were going to give me for that. You keep the money and we'll make a trade in labor. And that's what we do. So that's all part of it. Where was the Indian motorcycle made? That's in the States too, I believe. That is absolutely in the States as well. I like Indians as well. I liked it was either going to be an Indian or a Harley for me when I got it. And it just ended up happening to be a Harley because it was the perfect color that I wanted. The mark of the beast will be said to be the benefit there is, but won't be identity theft. Well, you're always going to have identity theft because a lot of times it's the people that are putting that information out there that are the ones behind that. What about potatoes? How many in the bag? The potatoes in the bag did not do well. I was not happy with that. They did not do well at all. So I'm not going to do that again. So it was an experiment to see how they would do. I got some, but not as many as I would have hoped to get. If we all just loved our neighbors, we would be good. I don't judge people. It's not my place. You know what? And that's a great statement. That's from, hold on a second. That is from Bullfrog Swamp Homestead just said that. And that is a great statement. Chris Alexander, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that as well. Again, if we just treated people like we want to be treated, the world would be a whole lot better place. If we work together instead of fighting, think about the amount of money that's put into the military. Okay, I'm just going to use that as an example. If we took that money and used it for the greater good of mankind, and what do I mean by that? Going into poor nations, teaching them how to be self-sufficient, to grow, to purify water, to do those things. But they don't want to do that. They want those people to die. It keeps the population down. Again, there is always an agenda for everything that is happening. Always an agenda, But it's the whole thing of the mark of the beast. You know what? I can't jump on that. I'm sorry, I just can't. So, like I said, I'm a big believer in you treat others the way you want to be treated, and it comes back to you, and it really truly does. So. I got a bunch of sleeping cats up here, and I'm not going to mess with them right now. So I'm sorry. I'm not messing with the cats tonight. Because then when I wake them up, then they get all agitated. So what about Agenda 21? I've heard about that too, Healthier Health. Again, do I believe there's some kind of an agenda? Of course there is. I absolutely believe that there is, because I think that they're realizing more and more people are waking up to the manipulation and the BS. So the more people that they can keep with the blinders on, and then they can try to control those of us that are awake. And that's what they want to do. Let's see. Gene is saying, Mike Coffee, please tell me you have a 401k because all of my grandchildren might have to pay for your Social Security. I don't know. So there's somebody's having a private conversation. I don't know. I don't know. What is the next skill or thing that you want to learn how to do? Well, for me, oh my goodness, let's see. I really want to get proficient with aquaponics. That's one of the things that I plan on. Like I said, again, this year, I do plan on getting out into the greenhouse and get going on that over the course of this winter. That's going to be my winter project. I definitely want to, what's that? Can you turn the camera around? All right, hold on a second, guys. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Here we go. There's your cat sighting. So they're all knocked out. It's a rough life. So, all right. All right, there you go. But, yeah, you know, I just, I want to learn how to do the aquaponics. I want to get proficient at that. I want to really work on growing in my greenhouse. And real, that's the next skill that I really want to work on. Planting in the spring. Planting outside is easy. To me, it is. I love gardening. You know, and again, the number one factor when it comes to gardening is always going to be the soil. Always going to be the soil. Okay, that's a huge factor all the time. So if you have good soil, and you know the weather's obviously going to play a factor in it as well. If you get, you know, if it's too dry or if it's too wet, you're going to have issues. So like I said, what I plan on doing is getting started obviously early in the greenhouse in the spring. You know, probably pre-spring, and keep things in there as long as I can, and then bring them out after that. Prepper Nerd, really enjoy your channel. Just wanted to say hi and thanks. Well, thank you, man. I do appreciate that. And thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. Indian motorcycles were made in Springfield, Mass. Okay, there you go. I like the Indians. I have an Indian dealership down in town, and I've looked at the Indians, and I think that they're an awesome bike. You know, I just happened to, when I found my Harley, I knew that was the one for me because, again, it was silver, and I love the color, and I love my bike. So, you know, that's just kind of how that ended up playing out. But my Arizona tea supply looks low. It is. I got to go down and look and see what they have down there. I got to see when they have it on sale again. And because if they get it on sale, Walgreens is where I go. If I go to Walgreens and they have it on sale too for $1, I'll buy like 48 cans at a time. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you'll see all this green tea stacked up again. So, but yeah, I definitely need to get there and you know, and do an inventory of what they have. But today, I wanted to drink the hot tea today because we're in the low 20s today. No wind, which is awesome, but brew your own tea. Yeah, I have, I probably tea bags wise, I have about 1,000 or better tea bags. I probably got more. So, but I want to save those tea bags for regular tea. So, yeah, the green tea is easy. Let's see. Oh, they're all talking about Social Security. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. If you've paid into Social Security your whole life, you're absolutely you should be getting you know, money from that. There's too many people that paid nothing into Social Security that are you know, are getting money. So, you know, and to me that's not right. If you didn't pay into it, you shouldn't be pulling out of it. You know, again, think about the fact what I think what a lot of people don't realize, and I want you guys to think about this. The baby boomer generation, there was a huge amount of people, right? Well, every day I think they were saying that like 10,000 baby boomers were retiring per day. So you're talking about a lot of people all of a sudden, all at once, are now going to be collecting Social Security and all this type of stuff. So if you can have something like a virus that's going to go through and take a good portion of those people out, now you don't have to pay them. There's always something to look at it and why things are being done and stuff like that. As far as my sister Margie's mom, I haven't heard from Margie today, so no news is good news. You know, so that's you know, I know her mom has the virus, and her mom is in her early 90s. I think her mom is 92 or 94. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, so she's up there, you know. Let's see. Yeah, too many paid into it, died, and never collected. Yeah, you think of all the people that died, you know, in their 50s, early 60s, or there was one guy I know that had retired, and a week after he retired, he dropped dead of a heart attack. I mean, how sad is that? You know, never get to pay into it your whole life, and then never get to collect anything out of it. And then you have other people that live a very, very long time. So, you know, but that was designed for them, is another form of supplemental income, which they deserve, in my opinion. If you paid into it and you worked your whole life, you deserve it, you know. Let's see. A lot of you guys are just talking back and forth amongst each other. 62 this month, retiring early. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Not at all. I probably will collect early as well when it's my time. When I turn 62, I'll probably collect early as well, because why not? You know. In the UK, they give money to disability, but the hoops you have to go through. Oh, hold on a second. Is silly, and you can't live off of it. Peter just said that. Well, even in the U.S., okay, let's say you apply for Social Security disability, okay, you're always going to be denied the first time. The first time, you're always going to be denied. Lady I knew a few days ago died. She's 105 years young. Wow. Harvey Black II just said that. That's very, very cool. Forcing the military to take the injection. Yeah, they'll be forced to. They won't have an option. The military, the guys in the military, you got to understand something about that, though, okay? When you join the military, and I said this before, you become military property. You are their property. You are not an individual anymore. You are property. So that's a big thing with that people don't understand. So yeah, when they say everybody in the military is going to get this, you know, vaccination, there's not, you could be for it or against it. Don't make any difference. You're going to get it. That's just how they go, you know. So my father retired at 62, collected till he, oh, hold on a second. Collected till he died at 92. Well, my dad, that's awesome. My dad was a Teamster. He retired at 65. He lived another 20 years. My dad was 85 when he died. And, you know, he collected a pension from the Teamsters and his Social Security. So, you know, to me, I say good for him. It's good for him. Yeah, you surrender your rights when you join the military. Spring Hill Outdoors just said that. Yeah, you do. Like I said, again, I told you guys a story. When we were in basic training, they told us when we get our first liberty, a lot of you will go out, you're going to get tattoos and stuff like that. If that tattoo gets infected, you can be given an Article 15, which is a reprimand for damaging government property, even though it's yourself. You can get an Article 15 if it gets infected. My first one is right here. Oh, how well you guys can see that. It says fight or die. Pretty faded now. It's a very old tattoo now. I got that when I was 19 years old. I was fresh out of basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And that was my first tattoo. And so I went in there and got that. And, you know, we got our first weekend liberty. And that's what we did, you know. Probably half the guys, I would say 50% of the guys came back from that first weekend leave that we had with tattoos. I had one guy came back, and I'll never forget this, 4 of them. He had one here, one there, and one there. Came back with 4 tattoos. I was like, are you insane? I mean, I got the one, okay, then down the road later on, I got another one, you know, and then it kind of snowballs from there. Once you start, you can't stop. It's very addictive. So, and even at 55, I may get more. I haven't decided. I'm thinking about doing something on my forearms. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I may or may not. Time will tell. Yeah, it's expensive too. It absolutely is expensive. Did you ever go up to Columbia on leave? No, we stayed pretty close to the post, just right in the town outside the post. So, and then, you know, so like I said, I did my basic and AIT there. We didn't get a ton of time off, guys. We really didn't. When we got that first weekend, you had a weekend. You had a couple days, and then you had to be back on post. You know, once I got down to permanent party, and stuff like that. That was different, I mean, we would get 4-day weekends. And if we got a 4-day weekend, there was another guy that I was in another unit that was also from Rochester. And so him and I had the car, Chevy Chevette, 1985 Chevy Chevette. I'll never forget it. I could fit 4 people in the car, easy. So what we would do is I would bring a buddy home, and he would bring a buddy home. We'd drive up. We would all split the cost of the gas. We'd all take turns driving. And then when we got to Rochester, I would drop him off at his house with his friend. And then me and my friend would go back to my, childhood home. And then we would go, I'd take him up to Niagara Falls and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. Hey, Nest Prepper. Problem with Social Security, it was not put aside to pay when due. It was spent on other things. Yeah, that's part of the problem, that they want to dip their fingers into it constantly and spend that money. They absolutely do. And that's not right. JJ said, Jim Beam and a green tea on Liberty for an extended weekend, bad combination. Yeah, I would imagine that would be. Oh, yeah, talk about getting drunk. When you're used to drinking and then you're going through basic training where you're not drinking at all, and then you get that first weekend Liberty and you think you can drink like you drank before you got into the service, your body has lost that buildup of tolerance. And you find out really quickly, that that's not always a good thing. Oh, my God. Should get a tattoo of a cat? Yeah, I don't know about that. Unless the cat's riding a Harley. Oh, my. Could you imagine a tattoo of a cat riding a Harley? That would be funny. So, and then hella on the back. So, but anyhow, let's do this right now, guys, because we're already at 10 after 9. We are Legion. We are many. We're a huge family. We're all over the world, all over the country. And while we're doing that, again, I'm going to ask for a thumbs up again really quickly. Again, to show support for the channel. If you haven't done so already, I would ask you to do that. So where's everybody from tonight? So let's see. Melbourne, Australia. Franklin County, Ohio. Kansas City, Missouri. Illinois. Montreal, Canada. North Carolina. Beech Grove, Indiana. BC in Canada. Cleveland, Ohio. Nowhere, Oklahoma. Sioux City, Iowa. And I probably said it wrong. Sioux, I don't know. BC, Canada again. Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio. Arkansas. Northeast Tennessee. Brookings, Oregon. Troy, Vermont. Buffalo, New York. London, Central Pennsylvania. Maryland. Colorado. Mesa, Arizona. Key West, Oregon. New Zealand. Nashville, Tennessee. Auckland, New Zealand. Very nice. Kent in the UK. Ulster Park, New York. Littleton, New Hampshire. Let's see. White Dunes, New Mexico. Kentucky. Reno, Nevada. Nashville, Tennessee. Love Nashville. San Francisco, Montana. France. Very nice. Welcome. Amherst, New York. We have Kansas from Toto. Yeah, right. Buffalo, New York again. Hendersonville, North Carolina. Been through there. Ontario, Canada. Louisiana. West Alabama. Let's see. Southeast Missouri, New Hampshire. We have North Carolina again. Paris, Texas. Southwest Oklahoma, Michigan. Waterloo, New York. Canandaigua, New York. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Southwest Virginia. Niagara Falls, New York. Very nice. Wisconsin. Anderson, South Carolina. West Tennessee. Indiana. Cape Cod. Let's see. Southeast Kentucky. New Mexico. Kansas. Louisiana. So again, guys, all over the world, all over the country, a huge network of people. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If we can connect and work together and plan on working together, there's nothing that could stop us. We could accomplish anything we want now and in a post-event. When a post-event happens, it's going to be, a lot of people are going to be out for themselves. And they're going to be looking out for their immediate families or their group. And they're going to be very, very apprehensive and on guard and on edge. There's not going to be a whole lot of trust. And that's a reality of a post-event. There's not going to be a lot of trust. So people need to think about that, okay? I want to mention my website really, really quickly. I wanted to talk about a change that I'm going to be making, okay? So just so you know, and that's probably going to happen. I got to call my IT guy, and we'll get that coordinated very, very soon. I am not going to be working with JDAG anymore for personal reasons, as you guys, some of you may know. I am going to be switching over to another CBD and hemp store called Four Fathers, okay? I will get that link up very shortly. And so if you are looking for CBD and hemp products, and like I said, the link will be there on my website. If you go to their website, and here's one of the differences too. The other company, which I did not have a problem with this other company. I just, again, with my relationship that I had with Becca, and I think it's better to exit out of that. But they didn't have where you could go in and do regular credit card billing. You had to get an invoice, and it made it extra steps for you guys. With this new company, you're going to be able to just go in, use your credit card, make your purchase. It's going to be the same thing. The discount code is going to be Prepper Nurse 1. You're going to be able to save 15% on your purchase. Give me a day or two. That will be up on the website, and you will see the difference. You will see their logo go by. You will click on that, and that's how you're going to be able to get to them. And it's going to be Four Fathers is the name of the company. Again, CBD and hemp products. So definitely, check them out when I get that set up. And I'll let you know when it's like, if it's set up by tomorrow, I will let you know in tomorrow's video that it's set up. Also on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community, which is a great way to connect with like-minded people. So again, you go to preppernurse1.com. You'll go in there. You do have to register. It is totally free. No credit card information is asked. It's private. That's why it is selective to be able to get in there. And it's in that way, all your information is not out there for everybody to see. Okay. So definitely take advantage of that. If you're looking for information on prepping, the message boards, if you're looking to try to connect with somebody in your state or your country, definitely take advantage of that. Okay. Also, I do have the Legacy freeze-dried foods available on my website. Again, if you are thinking about making a larger purchase, contact me first and I can work with you. Okay, I can save you some money. So again, go in there, check out what they have available. We have up on the website. So there's probably, from the last sale, I think there's like 4 or 5 people that we're waiting on eggs and also milk. So if you have an order and you have not gotten your order yet and it had eggs or milk in it, that's the reason why. It's on back order. It will be probably within a month. They'll have it in there. I talked to Amy. She said those should be back by January. So as soon as they're back, those last orders will be put in. I try not to have things on there that are not available, but when I went to go put the stuff in, those had already run out. So that's why that happened. But again, definitely take advantage of that too. So you go on the website, preppernurse1.com, click on store. It'll drop down. It'll say Legacy Foods. You click on that. What we have available is there. Again, if you are deciding to make a larger purchase, contact me first, okay? And I'll work with you. I'm always going to try to help people out. That's what I try to do. So again, I think that that's important, that we try to, like, again, that's the whole working together thing. So, but what do we got here? My coffee is gone. What was going on? There was, you guys were, I know there was like a back and forth, and I really didn't see what that was all about. I want to talk about Prepper Nation, Angry Prepper, also Marfugal News. Those are 3 good channels. There's some other channels that I'm going to be bringing up soon that I definitely think you guys should follow too. Obviously, one of them, Mark James, with My Self-Reliance. I think he has a fantastic channel. I also really like Boss of the Swamp. I think he's got a fantastic channel as well. There's a lot of great information out there, looking at different perspectives and the way different people look at things. I think it's important to look at the diverseness of people. And again, every part of the country, we don't always prep the same. We don't have the same agenda. We're thinking differently because we're thinking of the region of where we're at. So that's something to take into, oh, just crying wolf. Okay. Oh, he was crying wolf. Okay. Then yeah, we don't need him in here then if he's doing that. So, but anyway, I want to thank my moderators who absolutely do a fantastic job. They are great. You know, they keep the chat clean. They keep the riffraff out of here, which is great, because they're going to still try to come in here and play their games. Hold on a second here. I want to see what that person said before we. Ex-military, does CBD help with migraines, PTSD, anxiety, and depression? Yes, yes, they do help with that. They have tinctures and stuff like that that you can get, and that will definitely, they will help with that. So again, let me get this new link set up, get set up with this new company. Like I said, it should only take a day or two, and we'll have that done, and we'll get that squared away for you guys, and I will let you know when they're available. But again, you know, CBD products are a great product to have. There's a lot of different uses for them, which is a really good thing. So again, remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. We are one race called the human race. And as soon as we can realize that, and we realize that we need to work together, we can accomplish anything. Anything. There's no reason for people to be starving around the world. There's none. Absolutely no reason for that. The amount of food that's wasted in the United States every day is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Walmart, as soon as that food expires, they throw it out. Okay. And then they're going to lock up the garbage cans so that people can't go in there and get it. It's still good. It's just past the best by date. So, you know, that's a problem. And, you know, I'm going to tell you what, if you're starving, are you going to care if yesterday was the best by date? It's still good and you can still eat it. I think that it should be given out to homeless shelters and stuff like that so people can eat. That's my opinion. But again, if we work together, we shouldn't have starvation. We shouldn't have any issues. We got to stop letting them manipulate us. We need to stop fighting over race and religion or anything else. We need to work together as a human race, okay? Also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. It's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel, okay? Also remember STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive. Stay away from negative people that want to bring you down. Surround yourself with people with the same values and goals and you know, mindset that are positive and not negative. Negativity will just suck the life out of you. So don't let people like that do that to you. All right. Again, I hope everybody's doing well. I will see you all tomorrow, and have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.